Welcome to Toastmasters Better Speaking Series. And today our topic is how to begin your speech. We're going to cover two main topics. First, why the beginning is so important. And secondly, we're going to introduce you to several techniques that can help you have a better beginning to your speech. Why is the beginning of your speech so important? Well, it's simple. In speeches, just like in real life, you never get a second chance to make a great first impression. All kinds of scientific studies have proven that people make all kinds of decisions about you in the first 10 seconds that they meet you. Whether it's at a job interview, meeting somebody socially, meeting a customer in some business or social setting, or at the beginning of your speech, in the first 10 seconds, people are going to decide whether they want to listen to your speech and what they think about you. Making a great start to your speech is more than just words. It's your presence, how you carry yourself. When you walk out onto the stage, the audience is going to notice right away, what is your appearance? Are you dressed appropriately for this speech? Do you have enthusiasm? Are you making eye contact with them? Is your voice loud enough so they don't have to strain to hear you? Do you have that confident look about yourself? And the main thing is, did you start out with a smile? People want a smile, then they want to listen to you. If you fail to get a good start to your speech, your audience may turn you off and stop listening before you ever get a chance to turn them on and share your new ideas with them. A good opening should get the attention of the audience, introduce the topic, establish rapport, and take less than 5 to 10% of the entire speech. Today we're going to discuss 11 different opening techniques that you can use to start your speech. Pick one that matches your speech and your personality. The first one is make a startling statement. Smoking kills more people every year than World War II and Vietnam put together. That is a startling statement that makes the audience sit up and think. Arousing suspense or curiosity is a great way to get your listeners wondering what's going to happen next. Starting out with some suspenseful statement such as, "You'll never guess what the deep, dark secret my mother carried all her life was." Now the audience is wondering, what is it? Starting your speech with a story or anecdote, especially a personal story, can grab the audience. Like, my brother and I went hunting last week in the woods. A story about yourself. Great way to start a speech and grab their interest. A rhetorical question is a great way to start a speech. It does two things at the same time. It introduces your topic, and it also engages the audience. In their minds, they can't help it. They have to answer that question and get engaged. A quote is a great way to take the power of other people's work, other people's literature, and bring it to your speech. A quote like, "It is a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done before." Or, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Or, "The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind." You're taking the power of other people's work, bringing it to your speech and adding it to your speech, and that is a great opening. And quotes do not have to be from long-dead authors or poets. They can be from modern-day pop culture. As a matter of fact, for many audiences, references to modern-day pop culture work far, far better in grabbing their attention. Making reference to the occasion is a great way for the speaker to build a bond of common interest with the audience. It could be a retirement party, and you're talking about Bob's retirement. It could be a Christmas party, a birthday party, and you're talking about little Johnny, and you remember the day that he was born. It could be a banquet for sports, and you're going to talk about what a great season it's been. Or it could be an anniversary. Whatever it is, you want to reference that occasion so you and the audience have that common bond. A joke is a wonderful way to start off a speech, but a couple of things you need to keep in mind. First of all, make sure it's a clean joke. You don't want to be at a wedding or an anniversary and offend anybody. Secondly, not being mean. The best humor is often when you make fun of yourself instead of other people. If your humor comes across as being mean to somebody else, you'll lose your audience right away. Thirdly, try and keep your joke on topic. If you're at a golf tournament, try and tell a golf joke. Fourthly, a joke doesn't have to be true. You can steal one off the internet, change a few names around, and throw Bill's name in there and Frank's name, and it personalizes the joke. And finally, practice the joke. You want to get the timing down right. You want to have it memorized and timed right, and that will help your joke be a lot better. Audience participation is a simple way to get your audience involved in your speech right from the beginning. You start out with a simple question like, who here loves to travel? And ask them to stick up their hands. Or, who here has ever lost their luggage on a trip? And see how many stick up their hands. Or you might do something like ask everybody to close their eyes and imagine their favorite place or their favorite tree. And now you've got the audience involved in your speech right from the get-go. We've just given you 11 different techniques for starting off your speech nice and strong. It's up to you to pick which technique suits your personality, your topic, and your audience. The main thing is, you remember, it's important the first 10 seconds to grab your audience and create a great first impression. Now we're going to touch on things to avoid in the opening of your speech. First of all, never come out and say, I'm not really prepared, or this speech isn't going to be so great. Never do that. Secondly, do all you can to avoid a dull start, a boring start. Try not to be boring. And finally, get to your topic fairly quickly. Don't leave the audience hanging on forever going, what is this guy going to talk about? What is he getting at? Get to the topic quickly. A dynamic beginning is essential for a successful speech. Making a speech is like life. You never get a second chance to make a great first impression. And those first 10 seconds are so important. Whether it's in a job interview, a business meeting, a new customer, a social gathering where you might meet your next spouse or your next best friend. And it's not just about your words. It's about your confidence, your voice. Is it loud enough? Your eye contact, your enthusiasm, and most of all, your smile. So remember, always make a first impression, whether it's in life or in a speech. Grab the first 10 seconds.
I hope you have enjoyed this edition of the Better Speaking series by Toastmasters, How to Start Your Speech.